All right, what's up, guys? JR here. It is Monday, the 20th of February, 2017. It's a holiday today. It's President's Day. So we're going to do something a bit different. We're going to go ahead and take advantage of this holiday and use this time to accomplish a video that I have gotten a few requests for. Said I was going to do it, so today's the day. And in this video, we're going to discuss how to become a successful trader, well, how to become a better trader, which ultimately will lead to success, and exactly what it is that I'm doing to prepare to go live. So in the meantime, I just wanted to pull up this video that I actually recorded last week, but I didn't upload it because the audio was bad. All this is it's a trap. Basically, I took it like a failed second entry short, although the actual failed second entry occurs right here. So you get your new low, your first attempt to go lower right there, pull back, second attempt to go lower right here. I didn't like going long above this bar, so instead I decided to skip it or wait, and we got another pullback, which actually strengthened the trap. And I really liked going long right above this bar because you get this big, huge bearish bar. Tick one tick beneath it, tap off the EMA, you turn up, had a decent looking setup, so I went ahead and went long right there. One of my buddies actually went short right here, and I laughed at him because I was like, yeah, you got trapped, but that's besides the point. So yeah, I explained this trade briefly. It's a failed second entry, not quite, but we're going to treat it like a second entry long, which it is a second entry long and a failed second entry short. It was a good trap, but yeah, now let's get down to business. So pretty much we're going to talk about the steps that you need to take, kind of some of the ways that you need to be thinking and the things that you need to be doing if you want to become a better trader, which will ultimately lead to you being successful. And then I'm going to go into detail about what it is that I do specifically to prepare myself for going live. But first and foremost, I'd like to read an email that I got from Mac at the beginning of the year. I was actually doing some replay trading during the holiday season, and I stumbled across one of his videos from, I think, the end of April. I'm not sure the exact date, but I'm probably going to post the link to the video in the description, and you guys can go back and watch it. Just fast forward to around about the 19-minute mark, I think, where he talks about a certain aspect of trading that you need to kind of develop mentally to actually, when you start to become successful, you'll be thinking in this headspace. He didn't go into detail about the headspace, so I went ahead and emailed him because I was curious. I wanted to know exactly what it was that he was talking about, and I have the email right here, so I'm just going to go ahead and read that to you guys before we begin. And yeah, okay, so this is Mac. Here's my opinion on trading. 40% of it is having a strategy that works. The other 60% is having the mental discipline to follow your trading strategy / plan. You will need to be able to sit on your hands for hours if need be to wait on the right setup. Hold on one second. I think my sister's calling me. All right. Sorry for that interruption. All right. So, what did I say? You will need to be able to sit on your hands for hours if need be to wait on the right setup. But at the same time, when a good setup does occur, you need to be able to pull the trigger in an instant without fear or hesitation. When you get a win, you don't get a high because you expect to win. When you have a loser, you won't get down and out because losing is part of the process and there's nothing you can do to change it. You have to know and believe that if 80% or more of your trades are successful, you will have to endure a couple losers here and there. If you are emotional when you trade, you have work to do. It should be boring and feel like a job when you start to become successful. That is your gauge for your emotional attachment, really. Is it fun, or is it boring and task-oriented like most jobs? Don't get me wrong, I love trading, but it's... One second, I had to flip the page. Don't get me wrong, I love trading, but it's boring and feels too much like a job. However, it is the best job I could have and live the lifestyle I like to live. Read this a few times if necessary, but the secret is right on this page. The holy grail, as some like to call it, is nothing as you would expect. There's no secret to making money as a trader outside of what is written on this email. Okay, so basically to summarize that up, what Mac is saying is that trading mainly is mental. Okay, he's saying that only 40% of it is the actual strategy that you'll implement, and at least 60% of it is going to be having the mental discipline that you need to implement that strategy properly, i.e. follow the rules, being disciplined enough to sit and not just make a setup or a trade out of anything, and being able to follow your actual trading plan. That's the biggest portion of the puzzle. So now that we have discussed that, let me go ahead and pull out my notes and explain to you my personal opinion of what needs to be done if you want to become a better trader and exactly what it is that I'm doing to kind of push myself in the direction that I need to be in to actually accomplish trading this stuff live successfully. So first things first, this is actually my second time attempting to make this video, because the first time I didn't have like a roadmap for what it was that I was going to say. I just kind of not started rambling, but talking too much about things that don't really need to be discussed. So I'm going to try and be a little bit more precise in this video. So the first step, if you're on ground zero, let's say you're at 0%, you're not a trader at all, the first thing you need to do is you need to find a strategy, and you need to find one strategy and stick to that strategy. Don't expect to learn your strategy in a month. Don't expect to learn it in 6 months. Probably don't expect to learn it in a year. And whatever strategy you find, make sure you plan on sticking with it for as long as it takes. Don't flip-flop, because all that's going to do is it's going to take you even longer, and most likely you won't become successful, because I think the biggest thing is that people don't realize that most strategies, you can't learn them in a year. You most likely can't learn them in a year and a half. It's going to take you some time, and it depends on the amount of time that you do have. And just know that if you're flip-flopping around, sorry to say it, but most likely you won't make it, because there's no consistency in you. You have to be consistent. You have to be disciplined, and don't expect that, oh, this one didn't work for me, so this next one is going to work. No, it's not. All you're doing is resetting your clock, and you're going to become fatigued faster because you feel like you've been doing this for such a long time. And all right, let me just stop. That's a long tangent, but the moral of the story is stick to one strategy. You're not going to learn this overnight. You're not going to learn this in a few months. You're most likely not going to learn it in a year. It takes time, and it takes a lot of time. So just expect to be in it for the long haul. Be dedicated, be disciplined. Think of it kind of like a marriage. You marry someone, you're not going to divorce them in a year unless you absolutely married the wrong person, and then that's a whole nother problem that you have. But this is long term, very long term. Think of it in that instance, and if you think of it like that from the jump, you'll most likely be on the right foot. You won't have any false expectations, and you'll most likely not be disappointed. So long term, this isn't a quick thing. This is a long thing. This is one of the highest paid professions in the world. Don't expect for it to come easily, because it does not come easily. This is difficult. Once you get it, it's easy, but it takes a while to get it, and just know that, and stick to one thing, period. That's all I can say. Stick to one thing. All right, so first things first. First thing, in my personal opinion, that I think you need to do is I think you need to understand the rules, and I think you need to understand all of the rules thoroughly for your specific strategy. Then, after you understand all of the rules, you can go on and begin to understand the setups. You need to learn all of the setups and the exact kind of patterns and things that you're going to be looking for that is going to kind of tell you, hey, there's a trade right here. So understand the rules first, then move on to the setups. Then after you have the rules and the setups down, what you need to do is you need to start paying particular attention to the types of days that you're encountering, whether they be range days, trend days, etc., etc. You need to pay attention to the days, and you need to start being able to identify the setups within those days, because depending on the day, the setups will change. Okay, you can't trade a range day the same way you would trade a trend day, and you can't trade a trend day the same way you would trade a range day. So you need to be able to understand and spot the setups within the different types of days and how to trade them successfully. Let me end this video because this trade has concluded. But yeah, this is basically just a failed second entry short, second entry long. We took it. It was a good trap, good for a scalp, and that's that. So that's probably the biggest thing that's going to take you the most time, and that is seeing all the different types of days and being able to understand and spot the setups within them. Okay, one thing to note is that the market changes. It changes, and it has different cycles, and it has different personalities and tendencies as the seasons change and things of that nature throughout the year. So it's going to take you some time to see all those different personalities, see all those different types of days, and see all the different tendencies that it takes throughout the year before you're actually going to start becoming consistent and good at this. Because it's kind of like studying for a test. All right, if you've seen practice problems and you've seen enough practice problems, when you see the actual problem, you're going to have seen it before, so it's easy. I've seen this before. It's like it's already ingrained in you. You know what to do. It's nothing new. It's not a surprise. It's not a shock. And one thing that you will notice is that once you begin to really study these charts and kind of keep a stock of them, you'll begin to notice that you'll see the same exact like setups. You'll look at a chart from one day in, let's say, April per se, and then you'll go look at a chart from October, and you might not be able to tell the difference. You'll be like, wait a minute, isn't this the same chart? No, it's not, but the market history repeats itself. So that's one of the great benefits when it comes down to studying your charts. If you study your charts, you're going to have seen all of this before, and it's going to become second nature. Basically, it's going to be like your subconscious is working for you. You're just the pilot. Like, you know your rules, you know what it is that you want to see. You just kind of sit back and watch, and then you don't move unless you see exactly what it is that you want to see, and you're not getting tricked and trapped because you've studied these charts long enough so you know the end result. You know what's most likely going to happen. But let me go on to the next thing. So just a quick rehash of what I just said is you want to first understand all of the rules for your trading strategy. Next, you want to be able to understand the setups. And then next, you want to go ahead and work on kind of learning, seeing, and understanding all of the different types of days that you could possibly encounter and how to trade them properly. So that brings us on to the next thing, studying your charts. You absolutely have to study your charts, guys. You have to. You're not going to get any better if you don't study your charts. And one thing that I personally do and that I will recommend that you do is take a screenshot of your chart at the end of each and every single day and keep it in a folder. Alright, so my chart down here, my folder down here, I just titled this ES charts. Alright, so basically all it is I just keep pictures of my charts. That's it. And then I can come back and look at them whenever I want. And specifically what I do is I wait until the chart lesson has been uploaded, and then I go in and I make my chart look exactly like Max for the most part. Usually it does look pretty much exactly like his, but if I have like a trend line, like if I'm missing maybe a little short-term trend line, or if I'm missing a trade or two, I'll go ahead and I'll put that in there just so that way I can have absolutely everything marked that I need to have marked for my purposes of studying and coming back and looking at this later. So you just want to take pictures of your charts at the end of each and every day. That way you have something to kind of come back and look at and study on demand. This is great material. It's going to make you a lot better, and it's going to keep you fresh. It's going to keep you on your toes, and it's going to keep you prepared for pretty much whatever can happen in the market, because essentially you'll have seen it before. And one more thing that I would like to note is that, hold on one second. Okay, yeah, slight interruption. All right, so basically you want to take pictures of your charts at the end of each and every day, and you want to study them at the end of each and every day. Another thing you can do is at the end of the week, just come back and study your week's worth of charts. All right, come back, look through the week, study each and every chart from it. That way you're kind of reinforcing good habits, and you're able to see these setups, and you're able to spot them. Once you can spot them after the fact, you can spot them in real time. For instance, this setup right here, this is a very easy, reliable setup that you see time and time again. This is a failed second entry short right here. It's your reversal pattern. It's a great place to get long if you're able to spot this. And the only way you're really able to spot these things is by looking at them after the fact. So study your charts, guys. Study your charts, study the setups, and it's going to help you to become a lot better of a trader. And yeah, another thing that you can do also is not only study them at the end of the week, at the end of the month, you can actually go back and study your month's worth of charts. So that way you're just constantly reinforcing the setups, the types of days, and just what it is that you're looking for and what it is that you want to see. And that's going to make you a lot better, a whole lot faster. All right, so on to the next topic. Something that I personally started doing, and I noticed that it's made me a lot better, a lot faster, is keep a journal. Keep a trade journal, guys, and just kind of keep like track of what it is that you're trying to accomplish. So for me personally, I'm trying to double an account. So I have a recorded balance in my journal, and then each day I take the same trades that I would if I were going to be trading real money. I take those same exact trades, and I just keep track of how my performance is. Did I meet my goal? Why didn't I meet my goal if I didn't? And you kind of are able to analyze exactly what it is that you're doing that's right and exactly what it is that you're doing that's wrong. So an example for me personally is I noticed that I was missing my goal some days because I would sit and I would watch good trades go by. I would just sit and watch setups just go without me because I wasn't being aggressive enough in the morning. I would see the setup. I know that I've seen it before. I knew it would most likely work, but for some reason I was just like, no, I think I'm just going to wait. And because of that, I would miss out on my day. So I said, all right, why am I missing my day? What did I do that is the problem here? And I thought back on it and I said, okay, I watched all of those trades go. I would have been up so much money this week if I just taken all of those trades. And because of that, I was able to journal it down in my journal, come back and study it and just make a note to myself, take all of the early entries that you see, don't take this, etc. Watch out for reversal patterns on strong trend days. Don't focus on losing, just focus on whether or not you've seen the setup before, and just kind of take it and expect to win. So keeping track of your trades and your thought process in a journal is really going to help you guys a lot, because it's going to allow you to analyze your own performance and kind of take note of whether or not you're able to achieve a goal and what are the things that are hindering you from achieving your goal. So I'd highly recommend keeping a journal, and that's going to help you to analyze yourself and your performance. And that's pretty much all that I do to actually prepare myself for going live. There's really no big secret. There's really no like extra magic sauce or anything like that. I understand my trading strategy. I understand my rules. I know exactly what it is that I'm waiting for, because I've studied these charts for so long. So I know what it is that I want to see. I know what it is that I don't want to see, and I don't trade unless I see exactly what it is that I want to see. And the only reason why I was able to do that is because I've studied these charts for so long. I keep folders where I look at them at the end of the day, I look at them at the end of the week, I look at them at the end of the month. So I have these things just kind of burned into my memory. There's some charts that I literally remember exactly what they look like. I remember the pullbacks, I remember the trend lines, I remember all of the setups. And that's really how you want to be. You want to have an edge. You want to be 5 steps ahead of your competitors. And the only way you're going to get there is by putting in more time and working harder than them. So study your charts. Understand everything that it is that you're supposed to be doing with your specific strategy. You need to understand it well. And keep a journal. That journal is really going to help you, because just set it in your mind that you're trying to achieve a specific goal, and then figure out what you did that was right to help you achieve it. Figure out what you did that was wrong, that hindered you from achieving it, and then you can work towards correcting it. And that's definitely going to put you 5 steps closer in the right direction. And it's going to help you to analyze yourself. So that's pretty much all that I have to say about that. Hopefully this is what you guys were looking for, but trading really isn't anything magical. All it really is at the end of the day is how much time you put in, and are you doing the right things? And that's really all that's going to make you better. And when it comes to mental shifts, you'll kind of learn them along the way through journaling and keeping track of yourself and understanding yourself, because my mental problems aren't going to be the same as yours. You may not be afraid of losing. You may be a person who overtrades, and I may be a person who undertrades, because I am, in fact, afraid of losing. So you kind of have to figure out yourself, figure out what's going to work for yourself, and figure out what you need to fix on your own, essentially, because this is, like Max said, this is mainly mental. Your trading strategy is only a small portion of that, and you're really only going to be successful if you have control of the mental aspect of it. But this video has gone on for quite some time. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up, but just a brief little recap of exactly what it is that I said is that you want to understand the rules for your trading strategy. You want to understand the setups. You want to have time and experience being able to identify the different types of days that you could possibly encounter and how to trade them properly. You want to study your charts, and by studying your charts, you're going to be able to accomplish everything that I said in the first step, which is understanding the rules and seeing the different types of days. You also want to keep a journal, because keeping a journal is going to allow you to kind of gauge and monitor your progress and your success and what is helping you to achieve that, or what's holding you back from achieving that. And that's also going to aid you in analyzing yourself. And that's really all there is to it from what I can see at this point right now. That's pretty much all there is. It's just really, you have to be self-aware, and you have to be aware of the market. And if you're able to understand yourself and what it is that you need to do to kind of take control and push yourself in the right direction, while also being in complete understanding of the market and the conditions that are occurring and what it is that you need to do to trade it successfully, you're not going to have much of a problem at all. But that's it. Hopefully that's what you guys wanted to hear, but I just wanted to do something a bit different, kind of give advice from my perspective. And yeah, hopefully you guys found this video helpful, but that's all for now. This is JR, and I'll see you guys maybe sometime later this week, maybe not completely sure yet, but I'll see you guys, if not this week, definitely next week. But take care.